Have you ever felt like an option and not the first one? Or has anyone ever made you feel like you don't deserve the good things and it is okay for you to settle for crumbs and bits and pieces? If you can say yes to this question, then you should pick up this book by Buchi Emecheta. Second Class Citizen by Buchi Emecheta was published in 1974, and some might say that this book is a semi-autobiography, seeing as the author might have recounted some of our personal experiences in this book. But one thing that we know for sure is that this book is a build-ups roman, which is a coming-of-age story. A coming-of-age story is a story that reflects the life of the protagonist from childhood to adulthood. This means that whether you are a child, a teenager, or a young adult, you will be able to relate greatly to this book because there are important lessons that you need to learn. Now, I picked up this book and few pages in, I had this sense of gratitude. I was grateful for the fact that I was not born as at the time where girls didn't have access to basic things like education. Because our protagonist in this book, Ada, was born in a time when ladies were told, you don't have to do this, you don't need to do that because you're a girl. Now, one important lesson that you need to learn from this book is that you need to know who you want to be and what you want from life. Else, society will tell you who they think you should be, and when that happens, it means you've lost your sense of identity. Our protagonist knew who she wanted to be. So when society told her, you don't need education as long as you know how to read and write, it is okay to just learn how to sew, seeing as you just end up in your husband's house in the kitchen. But Ada knew what she wanted for herself. She knew who she wanted to be. So she didn't let society tell her who they think she should be. Ada struggled. She fought to get herself educated. There's a moment in this book where she had to sneak out as a child, sneak out of the house. She walked down to school, and that was the moment everything changed for her. Though society told her she doesn't need her education. This little act got her mother arrested, by the way. Make sure you pick up this book to know how that turned out. So, Ada as a child knew what she wanted for herself. She got herself the education. She tried to get better. She tried to be better. Like I said earlier, that this book is a coming-of-age story. So we see a transitioning of Ada going from childhood to adulthood, where she became a wife and a mother. And one thing that struck me in this book, about this book, is the fact that there is this feeling that she gets as you go page by page into the book. There is this transitioning of emotion, or shall I say, there is this roller coaster of emotion that you feel by reading this book. 1 minute you are happy for the protagonist, the next minute you are hungry for her, like she doesn't deserve this. Why is this happening to her? Can we take a moment to appreciate the author, by the way, because this amazing book is worth the read. Ada became a wife, she became a mother. Please, as a lady, imagine this, that you are the breadwinner of the family. You had to become the breadwinner because you earn more as a wife. You take responsibilities for the kids. Even your in-laws rely on your income. Now, what is the husband doing, you might ask? As a boy, imagine this, or as a man. You are in your house. You are not working, so you rely solely on your wife's salary. How would that make you feel? As a girl, as a boy, would you feel comfortable doing that? Ada started taking responsibilities for her family. Somehow she had to send her husband to further study outside the country, and they found themselves in London. So while in London, Ada realized that in her own country, her limitation was her gender. But in the country where she found herself, gender was the least of issues. Her major problem was her race, her nationality, and the color of her skin. And that is when she realized that all her life she had been a second-class citizen, not just in the country where she found herself. These people were referred to as second-class citizens because that is not their country. They came into the country, so they are expected to settle for bits and pieces. They were expected to just get whatever the country is offering them, be it good or not. A moment in this story is when they had to look for a place to stay. They had to look for an apartment, and every time they get to a place and they find out that they are blacks, suddenly the offer is off the table and the room is no longer for it. It got frustrating. And then this woman realized that she didn't want to settle. She didn't deserve to eat crumbs when someone else is having the main dish. This is another important lesson that you need to learn from this book, that whatsoever it is that is being thrown at you, whether people think you deserve it or not, you knowing you deserve it is what's important, and do not settle. Strive for what you want and you'd get it. Another amazing thing about this book is how the author portrays the plight of women in marriage. We see issues of domestic violence come up. We see issues of husbands limiting their wives to motherly and wifely duties. Husband being insecure because their wives actually making something of themselves. I'm sure feminists will have a field day reading this book because it is an amazing read. I promise you need to go through it. Are you a teenager under the age of 18 and you've read this book by Buchi Emecheta? This is a call to teenagers who would like to share their opinions and perspective about this book. You can reach out to us at bookworm@esquisite.tv with your name and the contact of your parent or guardian. Please note that there are amazing prizes to be won.